I recently got a question from a subscriber and member within our VIP group, and it says, "Hey Nick, I'm a recent VIP member. Just a thought, it would be really interesting to hear your thoughts on the analysis of 2022 results, maybe your thoughts on why it was a red year for you and lessons learned. Love the vids, by the way. Keep up the good work." Thank you, Nico Tom, for the great question. And Nico Tom is referring to my down year that I had on one of my main trading accounts, the one that I show often, the Weeble account. And this is 2022. Let's talk about it for a second, and then we'll jump into some other stuff going on in the markets today. So real quick, to answer your question, Nico Tom, last year was tough on this trading account because 8 of the 12 months were red for me. I did have some sudden really good months in there, but overall, it was a red year, and there's no shying away from that, which is crazy because, again, I've been trading for years now, and this is my first year that was negative on my account. And yet I still stayed trading the same strategy, which to some might sound absolutely crazy. How could you possibly trade a strategy that loses for an entire year? And again, this is why trading is not fun for everyone and why trading is much more difficult than people anticipate. Here's a great year. Here's another great year, 2021. 2020 was a great year, right? But then comes along 2022 and it challenges everything about your trading strategy. But I've been doing the same thing for a number of years. Even before I had this trading account started in 2020, I've been trading since 2016, 2017 era. Anyways, the concept here that I want to talk about is why 2022 was even possible. How can you have a red year? Let's talk about it in depth. I'm going to first show you something else here. This is my all-time trading performance. And you'll see there was a really good period of time that I showed you with that calendar. Then there was another really good time recently in 2023. But then you had this down period in 2022. So this is 22. This is, of course, 20 to 21. And this is 23. Now, in my opinion, if you look at it from a long-term perspective, 3 out of 4 years being incredibly green is not bad. But again, would you really want to sit and wait for a full year of downside losing? Well, that's possibly why most people don't want to trade in the long term anyways. There's some really tough times in trading, and I've been doing this for long enough to see some really great times and some really tough times. 2022, again, I was down 8 out of the 12 months. That psychologically was not easy. But let me talk about it as to why. If I switch over real quick, I'm going to show you guys a chart that might help to illustrate my point. So for those of you guys who know generally my trading strategy, I'm a fundamentalist, meaning I look at fundamental analysis. I also am a trend follower and I like to trail stops. And when it comes to the S&P 500, which is my favorite thing to trade, this and gold are my 2 favorite things. Well, I should say there's 3. There's the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, and there's gold. Those are my 3 favorite individual names to trade. Now, I also do options trading, which we should talk about as well in terms of the performance of this trading account. So we do some options trading, we do some stock trading, we do some active trading. But anyways, the majority of my trading involves trading the indices and gold and stuff. So why would we have a down year? Well, now we can see on the S&P 500's chart, this year was a lot tougher of a year for me in my trading because I'm a trend follower, and you'll see that during these periods of time where I had really good returns, I was able to capture a lot of this move by employing my simple break and retest concepts, trend following, holding on to things, and fundamentally we had a green light from the Fed, which was just printing money like crazy. So during this time, I was able to print money like crazy in this account. Then came 2022, which was a lot tougher. Again, I very rarely will short the S&P 500, but I did actually do a little bit of shorting, which I think helped to hedge and make the performance less bad, believe it or not. But still, it was a tough year. And again, a lot of not follow through. So I would pick up longs here and it would not really work out, or perhaps I'd pick up another attempt long. It would work out for a little bit, I'd capture a little bit, but I would trail for like break even, right? You see my point. The concept here is that this environment is way less conducive to my generally more favorable long side trading style than this, right? This is beautiful. This is where I've been able to capture some returns again. I've been trading really, really profitably a lot in this year, 2023. In fact, in 2023, we far made up for what we lost in 2022. So again, it's all about context. And it's a great question, Nico Thompson. Thank you for the question, and I hope that this helps. Again, every trading strategy has pros and cons, and for me, because I trade indices in gold, when they have great bull runs, I'm able to capture a lot of that upside. In fact, I think I'm able to capture majority of upside in good market moves. But then in down times or even choppy times, that's where my strategy personally performs a little bit less favorably. Let's talk about some trade setups. Speaking of gold in the indices, I figured we could take a look at what's going on today. Look at gold. Gold is making a move here off of this downward trend line here. You can see resistance was in play on this market, but then boom, started out the week real strong, now pulled back and even found the 1912 level. So this is really interesting. If you're a gold bull out there, this is probably a good early chance to see if this thing can make a break higher. If we see breaks and retests, I'm actually willing to potentially start to build a long position or try to buy these pullbacks if we can continue to see breakouts. Now, of course, by the time you see this video, things might have changed, but I'm looking again for specifically breaks, retests, continuation plays, and I think that may be some opportunity there. I do also have on the EDGEFINDER, the gold chart here is of course favored as a buy right now. It's scoring high in COT data, scoring high in seasonal trends, so I guess the month of July, which we just joined here, is expected to be upside. The trend is still overall in the daily chart looking red, so we're going to have to be careful with that and watch to see if that Titanic sort of turns the ship, if you will. GDP growth, inflation, unemployment, these economic numbers favor bullishness on the upside for gold according to the way we calculate them. So I do overall like gold to the upside, but I'd like to see price action either pull back and maybe give us another chance here, or if we can break through pullbacks, continuations, I'm very bullish on gold, and I think there may actually be some room to the upside here now that it does seem like a bottom has sort of formed. You have kind of this inverted head and shoulders forming here when looking at the gold price. Now here's the S&P 500. Last week was a insane bullish move for the S&P 500. And as I mentioned, I typically do well in those environments. And so I caught a lot of the upside. In fact, I traded, believe it or not, it's gonna sound like I'm making this up. I bought the S&P 500 like right over here. And just to show you that I'm not making this up, well, let me see if I can show you something. I'm no longer in the trade. That's why I can't just show you on my broker. If I go over here, you can see I'm not in this trade. You can't see any positions, and I'm logged in and everything. So I don't have any positions on the S&P 500 right now, but I traded it last week and it was a monster. So here was the trade, right? It broke out, retested. I called this signal alert to members. By the way, all of our trade alerts are shared inside of our Discord channel. If you're not already inside of the Discord channel, there will be a link down below in the description if you'd like to join us there. Anyways, I put out the analysis, broke out, retested it, and that was my trigger to get in. And this thing just shot to the upside. We were up $800, and then at one point I think we were up even more, and we were able to just trail a stop and let this thing run. Yeah, at one point we were up 13.53 on this trade. And then the sad story ends where I got trailed out on this candle right here. It got me, guys. It trailed me out, and then it rocketed without me. I've been talking about this a lot. I know people who are regulars, you're like, Nick, get over it. I know, but it is something I like to share this multiple times just in case someone who doesn't watch every single video hasn't heard that story. I think it's a learning lesson. The reality is that this happens sometimes. You get trailed out, and the good news is the markets are still there the next day. You can find another trade setup. So speaking of trade setups, I'm looking for a pullback on the S&P 500. If I can get a pullback, I might be interested again, but to be completely honest with you guys, this market looks a bit extended, and I would like to see this thing dip deeper in order to potentially look for another long trade for S&P 500. Here's the euro. Let's take a look at the currency side for a moment. Here's the euro. It's been a little bit choppy back and forth here. We've got support, I would say, down here around 1.085. And the question is, in terms of resistance, are we going to be able to break that this week? It depends what happens with the dollar. The dollar's been surprisingly strong, though this morning we're giving back some of those. And I would say for those of you guys watching euro, it really could go either ways. I think that this is just a choppy market. And so right now it looks like it's just likely to head in either direction. But what I would say for bulls, watch for breaks. That could be a signal to be long. And on the seller's side of things, same story, but inversed. Can we break out? The key notable factor in both would be the strength of the market to actually break a key level of support or resistance as seen in this chart. So that's what I would say for those of you guys watching Euro USD. And then for those pound dollar bulls and bears out there, this one's just so confusing to me right now. The pound wants to be bullish, I would say. Overall, we found some support here. In fact, we've got this cool little upward trend forming. Let's take a look at this. So, I mean, pound USD has been strong. This is a daily chart level, but when we drop it down, again, it's a little bit tricky, a little bit confusing here. So what I would say is that if you're a longer term swing trader, keep an eye on pound USD, but for the day traders, for the short term swing traders, you know, watch for breaks. That's the only area I would start to look at this thing a little bit closer. Just something once we have a bit of strength coming into this market. You've also got, just like you've got that longer term upward channel, you've got this as well, right? So it would be interesting to see if we can get breakouts, retests. And this is just overall not the prettiest chart. It's kind of ugly in my opinion. So not my favorite thing. I talked about dollar yen, however, and this one I am actually interested in. So let's drop it down to the 1 hour chart here for a change. We'll go a little bit closer. So this area here looking left was a huge level of support several times over. And so if price does give us a bit of a deeper retracement here, and again, maybe by the time you see this video, there will be a price retracement. It does seem like it's coming down hard here this morning. I like this one on the long side. So I'm not necessarily a super dollar bull, but again, I think that yields are rising right now. There's an expectation that there is possibly more rate hikes coming than what the market previously anticipated. That would also allude to why stock market's down a little bit here this morning, right? Fears of potentially more rate hikes, so on and so forth. Anyways, I think that could be an interesting play, looking for a dollar yen pullback. Of course, guys, remember, if I take any trades, I will share them inside of our Discord channel. Let's now take a quick look inside of the EDGEFINDER's Smart Money Tracker to get an idea as to where things are at. And look at the Nikkei, still the #1 longed asset percentage-wise from institutional traders, but a surprising shift in the narrative here as we have USD coming in as #2 long. Big money is long US dollar, big money is long gold, big money is long euro, big money is long pound. And silver. For those of you guys who know, I'm also trading some silver contracts right now on the options side of things. I'll show you that just for the sake of it. Let's take a look at SLV. I'm trading SLV options. I have 2 puts that I've sold. This is essentially a bullish play on silver right now. One is in profit, the other is not. So one I'm up 43 bucks and the other I'm down about 111. For those of you guys who don't know much about options, again, I encourage you, join the group. We share all of the trade alerts that we take, not just Forex, not just currencies, not just indices. We trade everything. Frank does stocks, we do swing trades, I do options, position trades, all sorts of things. And if you want more information about that, again, click the link down below in the description and you can read about what the service offers. And if you use the link down below in the description, there's also a promo code next to it. Write that promo code down, it's YTVIP. It'll get you a discount off of any of our memberships or our software, the EDGEFINDER. So again, back to the software here. This is where I'm looking at COT data. My company builds software tools for traders. And if that's something you're interested in, feel free to grab that down below in the description. You can purchase it with that promo code and get a significant discount off of the software and all of its cool features. You can see over on the left all the different things that it offers you. You can look at inflation, GDP. You can look on the risk on, risk off calculator. We have price forecasts, the bank signals, central bank forecasts, seasonal trends, which I think we need to take a look at this here. In terms of the dollar, I'd be very curious as to where we're at with something like dollar yen. So dollar yen is expected here. So this is seasonal trends. We're looking month to month to see what the average movement during the year is. It's a very simple indicator, but it's a very powerful indicator. In the month of July, we are expecting a positive rise on the dollar yen, just slightly. We saw that in June and May, those predictions turned out to be true. And in April, it was wrong. We saw a negative return, but the expectation was positive. This is the reality about seasonal trends and everything else. There's nothing that's a perfect holy grail indicator, but seasonality can be really cool. So July, we're expecting a positive month here slightly for the dollar yen. We'll see how that plays out going forward. And again, we can combine all of this stuff, and that's where we get the watch list signals tab. So for those of you guys who are kind of stringing things together, and I'm going to have a secret word here for a second for those of you guys who are, okay, actually, you know what? Let's do it right now. If you guys made it to, if you guys get it, then type I get it. For those of you guys who are regulars, you know where we're going with this. In my videos, I like to do this little concept where I put a secret keyword or a key phrase. If you made it this far in the video, comment down below, I get it. If you're starting to understand the concepts that we're employing with the EDGEFINDER, even if you don't have the EDGEFINDER, even if you're just someone who watches the videos and kind of starting to understand what we're looking for in these trade setup videos, do me a quick favor and comment down below, I get it. It also lets me know that you made it 15, 16 minutes into this video, and I really do appreciate you guys' support, and I'll try and leave a heart on your comments. So again, that's where we get the watch list signals tab, which is just a combination of all of the metrics that we study, printing out highest to lowest, the scores currently as of today. If you guys would like access to the EDGEFINDER, remember, you can get it down below in the description for a significant discount with promo code YTVIP. That is all information that you can find down below in the description if you'd like to pick up our software. And thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your trading day.